to a new year and a new year of CamijoKnit podcast. So welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I've gotten so many new subscribers during Vlogmas, so welcome to all of you new ones. My name is Camilla and I am a knitwear designer and a hand dyer. And I work from home. I live close to Aarhus, which is the second largest city of Denmark. Denmark is a Scandinavian country, and unlike Norway and Sweden, we do not get a lot of snow and we don't have any mountains. It's a pretty flat, somewhat boring nature. A lot of coastline though, so that's perfect and beautiful. So we live very close to the ocean and we can go there and take walks in the winter and swim in the summer, so that's very nice. I used to be a teacher, but I have taken a year off from work to try to focus on CamijoKnit, and so far it's going really good and I'm really happy. So without revealing too much, I will probably not be going back to my teaching job, but we will see. Today, it's a little warm in here, I have a lot of finished objects because it has been almost 2 months since a regular episode. I did my last regular episode on November 18th and today it is Friday the 13th. So I did do Vlogmas every day in December, but it's been a while since I did like a regular podcast, so it feels really good to be back. First of all, thank you so much for joining me during Vlogmas this year. It was extra fun, I think, because I didn't have to go to work every day. I could just totally focus on Vlogmas. So I think that made it extra fun for me. And also I think the quality of Vlogmas this year might have been a little bit better. I was really trying hard to get as many different shots as possible and changing the camera all the time to make it a little bit more interesting to watch. So I hope that paid off a little bit and made it a little bit more interesting for you to watch. Also, of course, you can, besides here on YouTube, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as CamijoKnit. And also, I just want to remind everyone to that I do have a newsletter. You can subscribe to my newsletter. I don't really send out newsletters that often. I don't know how many I have sent altogether, maybe like 5 the last year. So it's not that you get a newsletter every week. It's nothing like that. But if something new happens or something interesting happens, I will write a newsletter. And also, if you are a newsletter subscriber, you might get some discounts or good deals that you don't get otherwise. So it's just really a good idea to do the subscription. And if you don't like my newsletter, you can always unsubscribe. But they will be like, for example, I'll talk about a little bit better later. But for this whole bird collection thing I have going, it's just a good idea to be subscribing to the newsletter. Sometimes I do coupon codes only for my YouTube subscribers and sometimes only for newsletters, and sometimes it's all over Instagram. It's so different, but if you want to make sure you get all the discounts and all the codes and all the news first, it's a good idea to be a subscriber. Yes, well, let's get to finished objects. I have one finished object that is upstairs in Esther's room, and Esther is sleeping. It's still Friday morning. It's like after 10. But anyway, she's home for the weekend from her boarding school, and she's always so tired when she gets home, so we just let her sleep in. And her scarf is finished and it's in her room, but I'm hoping that before I'm done podcasting or recording, I might go up there and grab it. I have 2 finished objects that I didn't knit myself, but that have had 2 lovely ladies help me knit. I just realized that I do not have the time to knit all the samples myself. Once I have finished with the design, it's like I don't have time to knit the same sweater over and over. But sometimes the girls would steal the sweaters and then I don't have them when I go to like shows. So I needed some more versions of different designs. And the Esther sweater is a design that I knew I wanted to have made in my own yarn. It's originally knit in Avetta and Saga from Filcolana. And it's perfect, it's gorgeous, and it makes the cables stand out. But I also wanted to try it with my own yarn in the CamijoKnit, no, not the Camijo sock and my silk mohair together, and that just gives it a really lovely fabric. And I had Regge knit this for me in my colorway Noir, and I actually think that my silk mohair didn't absorb the color very much, so it's not, I think that Noir is actually usually a little bit deeper blue. But I really love how it feels in this yarn combo. And Regge knit this for me in a size medium, and I can tell that the sheaves are a little narrow. So an advice is to really double check your gauge when you're knitting your sleeves so you don't get them too tight. And also because the cables will kind of pull your work a little bit, so you might want to go up maybe half a needle size for the sleeves. But she did such a good job, and it looks so pretty. Unfortunately, I was like counting on Esther to use this as an extra sweater, but the sleeves are too short for her. She has really long arms, so it's fine. I will take this to show so people can see what it looks like in my yarn. And actually, that was the point of getting this knit up anyway. But this is what the the Esther sweater looks like in like a normal fingering weight merino and one strand of silk mohair. And I think it looks gorgeous. So it's such a luxury to have someone knit it for me. Oh, it's just so stress relieving. Can you say that? To have someone do some of that work that I just don't have time to do. I made myself a cup of coffee. I put my Christmas mugs back in my Christmas box, so I'm back to my regular ones. Lovely. So, another sweater that I have had made is the True Blue sweater. A sweet lady from my local area here. She did this for me. This is in the colorway, it's a new colorway that Nomi, my oldest, helped me design this color. She wanted a gray version, and apparently gray is not just gray, as you know. And she wanted like a warm gray, not too cold. So we made this one, which I call Dr. Gray, with a reference to Grey's Anatomy, which is one of her favorite shows. And I think the neckline looks big, but when it's on her, it's just perfect. It's not too big at all. But I do want to say that when you, the pattern is not released yet. I am thinking about actually releasing that tomorrow or next weekend. I'm not going to promise anything, but it's ready. All the testers are done. And yeah, it's actually, it's ready to go. But you bind off with an Italian bind off, and don't be afraid to do that tight. You don't have to do that very, very loosely. And I think I pick up stitches on a 3mm needle just to make sure that the ribbing is tight. So I actually would recommend that you block the sweater first and then you pick up stitches for the neckline, so you don't block the neckline. It's really a bad idea to block the neckline because you don't want that to be too wide. So it is looking so pretty. It looks so funny when you put it up like this because the sleeves looks like out of proportionally wide. But it's just so gorgeous when the girls put these sweaters on. Yeah, so True Blue sweater in a not true blue color at all. Two finished objects that I didn't finish. So let's see if I actually have any objects that I finished. I did finish this, my Sandwave shawl. I've shown this on my channel multiple times, but it's complete and also published. I think it came out on my birthday actually on December 16th. So that was a little warm. It's knit in 2 strands of my glitter single and 1 strand of my silk mohair, and for this I used my Saint Viper and Spice colorway. Finished object number 1. Finished object number 2 are my Fate Canvas socks. So this was the knit along we did during Vlogmas with the 5 first skeins of the advent calendar. This is the colorway Poinsettia. This is the or why did I do that now? I'm already regretting, because this is a Gold Myra and what is it called? Frankenstein, right? This is Vanilla Kranz. This is Fireplace, and this is Marzipan Glaze. Can't believe I still remember those names. Anyway, so these are my Fate Canvas socks. Canvas for knit along in Christmas. The year before I did Canvas hats and Canvas mittens. So the Canvas is just a short for knit along during Vlogmas. Okay, making a short story long here, which is not intentional. Yeah, the pattern was just released yesterday, the day before, and along with these socks I just made some new mini skein sets that I thought would be really cute to knit these socks. I have a purple version, and I did this one yesterday that I really liked. Not yesterday, the day before. I call this 5 scoops of ice cream. Can you tell, like a banana, chocolate, pistachio? I don't know what that would be. And like a raspberry, strawberry, whatever. I just thought when I looked at them, it looked like all the ice cream in an ice cream truck. So I have plenty of like 5 skein sock sets online for the Fate Canvas sock, if you're interested. What else do I have that is finished? Oh yes, I have my melancholy hat. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. So I made a hat, and I have decided to call it the melancholy hat because it's the same 3x1 ribbing as in my melancholy sweater. So just to make things simple, it's knit in 2 strands of my glitter single and 1 strand of my silk mohair. And this particular silk mohair is the silk mohair I dyed during Vlogmas. It's called Cinnamon and Orange with a cherry on top. I love how that is just short and sweet. And it was a color that I dyed during Vlogmas, like a Christmas sock set, and they sold out 3 times, I think, during Vlogmas. I kept dyeing more, and they kept selling out. And I will be doing like a version of this colorway as a what is that called? Like a returning colorway. No, as a colorway that will always be in the shop. A permanent colorway is the word I was looking for. Anyway, this is the melancholy hat. It is being tested as we speak because I changed the pattern a little bit, because my version is knit in a 4mm needle all the way, which makes this part a little stiff, and then it won't kind of like lay. I want this to be a little bit more flexible so it can, I think it's fine. But I did change that in the pattern, so when you knit 10 centimeters, then you change to larger needles. Just half a number. But I love how it's tight and that it's, whoopsie, and it warm because it's 2 strands of fingering and 1 strand of mohair. So actually 1 strand of DK and 1 strand of mohair. And I'm having some pretty awesome women testing this for me. And I can't wait to see their results. Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. It will be released soon. I'm thinking it won't take that long to test. So hopefully within a few weeks, maybe by the next time I podcast, this will be ready. I hope. So I finished that, and I just went to Esther's room now that I left the room anyway. I went to her room. She is still sleeping. And I got her scarf. If you have been watching the CamijoKnit podcast for a longer time, you know that this has been on my nails for a long time. I did wash it and I did block it, but I just didn't block it very aggressively. It was a little bit hard to block it actually, because I didn't have that many. I don't have that many of those blocking blocks that you use. That would have been awesome to have like 2 meters of those, but I don't. So I had to just kind of flatten it out. It would be good with those, what are they called, like blocking wires? So you can just pull an entire like wire through the end and then kind of stretch it out. I'm thinking maybe to do the first few stitches of the pattern be a garter stitch. Instead, now it's stockinette, so it likes to roll a little bit. But I don't know. Esther loves it. It's really, 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 really long. It's like, yeah, it's longer than me, so I'm thinking this is about 2 meters, maybe a little bit more, and it will grow because they will pull them and, you know, toss them around and bind them. But yeah, it's pretty cool. She really likes it, and it's always good when you're 16, 17, 19-year-old teenagers love what you do. Esther will just wear it like this. She doesn't bind. I don't think she binds it. I would totally do that if it was me. I would bind it like that. Is it called bind it? And I will make this visible and put it under a jacket. I think this is a little stylish. I did use 4 skein of fingering weight yarn. This is my mohair merino blend. I call it Mimo. I think I have 3 skeins left in this color, and I don't have that many skeins left altogether, like undyed skeins. But I'm thinking once I release this pattern, I will be dyeing more, and I think just maybe only this color. And if it's a base you're interested in, I will be buying more. But it's hard. I don't have that much room for all the bases that I really want to try. I just got a new base the other day. I can't show you because the only color that I have dyed on that base is Bird of the Month. I'll talk about Bird of the Month a little bit later. But it's a 2-ply yarn. It's an 80% merino, 20% nylon, 2-ply instead of 4-ply. So the Camijo sock base is the same, 80-20, but it's a 4-ply yarn instead of a 2-ply yarn. And also the new 2-ply yarn is a little bit shorter yardage. It's like 365 meters instead of 425. So, cheers. I hope you have a little something nice to drink, a little coffee or a tea or something. Okay, let me just check my list. I went through the Esther sweater, the True Blue sweater, the Esther scarf, the Fade Calma socks, the Melancholy hat, the Sand Viper shawl. So that was actually 6 finished objects. 2 of them was not my own. Well, they're my own, but I didn't finish them. Someone else did. So thank you, Rikke and Inge. I'm like so happy you want to help me knit some of my designs, because no way I have time to do. I wish I did, but I also have to dye some yarn. I'll talk about dyeing yarn a little bit later. Let me show you my works in progress. I have a half finished object over here. I have 1 sock. This is my cinnamon and orange with a cherry on top Christmas sock set. And I just wanted to do something different with the contrasting mini skein, which was the cherry. I just did 2 stripes like on old-fashioned tennis socks. And I did a 3 by 1 ribbing. I just like that look on socks. I think it looks cute. And I didn't use the contrasting. I was mainly because I was just so curious to I was so curious to see how this color would knit up. And I love how you can see all the different colors, but that there's no pooling. I really did the best I could to make sure I applied the colors as evenly as possible and not just have blue in one area so that it will do those pooling. I really hate when the colors are pooling. And on the second sock, you might notice that there is no cherry on top of this one, because when I cast it on for sock number 2, I had lost my mini skein. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I just thought, well, what the heck? No one's gonna notice that top part anyway. So I'm just gonna finish this sock without a cherry, or maybe a toe. I don't know. I am knitting this in my strong sock base, and I really love this base. It's not, I just talked to Lene, who is a local knitter, and she buys a lot of my yarn. And Lene said, well, I don't buy the strong sock yarn because when you say strong sock, I just associate like a woolly sock yarn, like from the old days, that is just really scratchy and uncomfortable. And it's not scratchy and uncomfortable. It's still 75% merino and 25% nylon. It's soft and lovely, and it's actually exactly the same base as all my sock minis, because I can't get the minis in an 80-20 base. I can only get the minis in the 25-75 base. So don't be afraid of the strong sock. I might just change the name so it doesn't associate to something being terrible and itchy. I have enjoyed it. It's my first time knitting with this yarn. I have enjoyed it so much. I love to dye this yarn because the circumference of the skeins is bigger, so it's easier to apply the colors better. That's my experience. So I'm very happy about this base. I did dye a few of the strong sock bases for the bird collection this month, and I have a few skeins left, but I haven't bought any more for my stock because it seems like you guys are just not into the strong sock base. So maybe if I tell you it's still soft and lovely, but a tiny bit more strong than the 80-20 base when it comes to knitting socks. I understand for sweaters and shawls and hats and whatever, you don't need the nylon. But for the socks, I really recommend you try this base. So the next time you want to buy one of my hand-dyed yarns for socks, it's the same price. I don't make more money on this base. I just want you to try this. So I don't have that many skeins left, but I'll see if I can take one every time I do a new color. Just do one of them so I have a little variety in the base and see what you think. That would be fun. I really enjoyed it very much. My other work in progress, I'm so proud that it's back on my needles. It's been on my needles the whole time, but it has been resting. It needed a long rest. The problem with this project, it's not a problem at all. First, it's for me. And for some reason, projects for me tend to get less attention because new designs comes first, or knitting for someone who is impatient, or gifts. I don't knit that many gifts, but I do occasionally if someone very important has a baby or something, I will knit. And that's the case. I need to cast on a baby knit very soon. But this is my melancholy sweater. Some of you might remember that I did cast this on more than a year ago, and I am almost done. I just need like 5 centimeters of ribbing, and I think that's like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 more rounds and I can bind off, and then only the sleeves. And of course, this is not knit in... Lars is leaving. Where is he going? I am not knitting in my own yarn because I got this yarn before I started to dye yarn. So this is a Madeline Tush in the colorway Stovepipe in the glitter base. I don't think they have this anymore. So if you are interested in a dark blue glitter yarn, I have the new colorway that is a dark blue, just like this, with glitter. So, and the mohair is from the Danish company called, I always forget the name, but I have it right here. Mohair by Knit. I always mess it up. Mohair by Knit. This is a Danish brand. This is my favorite silk mohair of all times. It is just as soft as the one I have in my shop. It is a 82% like 72% mohair and 28% silk. I love this. So, perfect combo. I only have this left and whatever I have that I'm working with right now. So I don't think I have enough for both sleeves, but luckily my local yarn store carry this yarn. So I tried it on the other day just to make sure it was the right size, and it was perfect. So I'm thrilled, absolutely happy. This project, and since I casted on this project, I knew that I would just love the result. This sweater is just perfect. I love that color. That I don't knit a lot of blue, and blue is not really a color that I don't dye that much blue. I'm more like a pink brown person. But when it comes to clothes for me, navy blue is just always a good color. I don't know, it's a good color for me. So it's a good idea to knit this color for me, even though I don't think it's not the most fun color. I would rather be doing pink, but I can't wear all that pink. It's not really my color to my skin or anything. So blue is better. As you can see today, I'm wearing a navy blue, and it's just always a good choice. Well, as I said, so now I'm knitting on the melancholy sweater, and I'm knitting on my Christmas set socks. But I also need to be casting on a baby thing because we have some really good friends that live in Florida, and they will be coming to Denmark in next month because they are having their daughter baptized. He is Danish, she's American, and they live in America, but they're coming home to Denmark to have the baptism, and they're going to do that in Copenhagen. And I just know that little girl is going to be cold over here compared to Miami. So I'm going to knit her something. I'm just indecisive of what to knit. Maybe I should do the Anna bubble cardigan, or I don't know, I want to do something DK weight. So maybe I should do this sandcastle. That's a really girly cardi, I think. I just dyed some perfect yarn. I just dyed the most gorgeous color DK weight yarn. Let me show you that yarn. So whenever I get a new color, or whenever I dye a new color, like a powder for dyeing yarn, I just want to see what that color looks like, just pure without any mixing. And when I know when that looks like, I can kind of adjust and see what direction I want to go. And I just mixed the perfect color, I think, at least. It is called Dark Dusty Rose. It is this color. I only have these two skeins, and now that I think about it, maybe I should do the cardigan for this little baby girl in this color. She will be, I think, 4 months by the time we get to the by the time she will be baptized. I think she will be 4 or 5 months. So I think it'll be perfect. I really am in love with this color. If you are interested, I'm just gonna take these off this shop before you buy them. I will dye more of this. I think it's just so pretty. And also, I really wanted some teal in the shop as well, so I dyed this and I absolutely love this. I think I'm gonna be knitting some socks for Lars in this color, and yeah, just a solid teal, no fuss. Of course, it's always a teeny tiny bit variegated when it comes to hand-dyed yarn. It's never 100% solid, it's always a little variegated. I think that's the beauty. Okay, so 2 new colors, and I just want to share this last thing because I am so proud of this colorway. I call this Happy Hunter. Is it a little blown out? Can you tell? It's so pretty on my silk mohair as well. Look, I love this so much. One of my testers for the Melancholy hat is testing in one of these Happy Hunter colorways, and I cannot wait to see what it looks like. I'm in love with this colorway. It's called Happy Hunter. Happy Hunter. Yes, good. So let's talk a little bit about the yarn clubs, because I have this year committed to do a new kind of yarn club, at least new to me. I don't think it's new in the sense that it feels like a lot of hand dyers are doing this, doing like a something of the month. And I just like that idea so much, to challenge myself to do something new every month. It's fun. And I know that you guys like that as well. Every time I do something secret, like something like a surprise box of some kind, you really seem to like that very much as well. And because I have turned recently 45, I must admit I have become a bird person. I remember when I was a kid, and my grandmother, she would talk about the birds on the, what do you call that place where you feed the birds? And she would know all the names of the birds, and I just could not see why she would be so interested in something so boring. I am there now. If you saw Vlogmas, you know I have a little bird house just right out my window, and I can feed the birds. And then I had a rat problem, and the rat guy said I couldn't feed the birds anymore because that meant I was also feeding the rats, and I felt like the worst bird mom in the world because I had to take away all the food. Now the rat is gone. I haven't seen the rat for almost 2 months. Maybe that's not entirely true. Maybe 6 weeks. Anyway, I'm thinking I might be able to feed the birds now. I gave them a little apple the other day and a pear, because I'm thinking the rats probably don't care too much about fruit. But if I don't see a rat the next couple of weeks, I will be continuing to feed the birds. Anyway, enough about the birds. The birds gave me the idea to make 2023 a bird year. So every month I will be releasing a new bird of the month. So bird of the month this month was the gold crest. In Danish that is called Fuglekongen. And Fuglekongen in English means king of the birds. And it is the tiniest, it's like a 5-gram bird. It's so small. It is the smallest bird in Denmark. So I was just in love with the story about how this bird was a title king of the birds, because it was a competition. Okay, so this is the story about Fuglekongen in Denmark. The saying is that the birds were indecisive of which bird should be king of the birds. And they agreed to crowning the bird king. That bird that could fly the highest would be crowned king of the birds. And this little gold crest would hide underneath the wing of an eagle. And when the eagle would fly really high, and they all said, oh, the eagle is going to be the king, then the little tiny bird crest just flew out from under the wing and even higher, and they said, oh, wow, you will be the king. So that is why in Danish, at least, the gold crest is called king of the birds. Bonus info of the day. So anyway, I was really in love with the gold crest, so that was color number 1. I do have the gold crest sock set right over there, and I might just take it out and show you. So if you have not yet received your bird of the month, if you have ordered bird of the month and you have not yet gotten bird of the month, look away from, close your eyes from now, and I will tell you when you can open your eyes. But I just want to show you the gold crest. Okay, don't look. This is the gold crest, and it has, you can go to my website and see the picture of the gold crest. So the main skein, I'm just trying to describe it without describing too much. So the main skein, you can probably see the inspiration from that, and the two contrasting, I wanted them to kind of blend perfectly with the main skein. I am very, very happy about this sock set, and this is actually my 2-ply merino sock base. I call this merino sock. It's the 80-20, and yeah, it's only 365 meters, so it's a little bit more fluff for it. It has a little bit more volume. Yeah, okay, you can look now. I am not showing the gold crest anymore. So yeah, so gold crest is bird of the month. If you subscribe to my newsletter, I will make sure that you get an early bird. Get it? Early bird? You get an early bird discount if you order within a certain time from when I release the bird. I have not decided exactly how many days, but if you want to make sure that you get a little discount on the birds of the month, you can use this code if you get the newsletter. So just to remind you to subscribe to my newsletter, and I promise I will not be emailing you all the time. Don't worry about that. Good. Also, Valentine is coming up, and Valentine's Day for me doesn't really make a difference in my life. In Denmark, Valentine, I don't think is such a big deal, at least not with my generation. I think only because I was an exchange student in Tennessee back in the days. I think maybe some of the American traditions are easily what is the word? I easily kind of adapt, or not adapt and not accept. I kind of adopt. I'm more willing to adopt American traditions. So when I was young, I think maybe the first Valentine I spent with Lars, I think I gave him flowers and he had no idea what was happening. So Valentine's Day, I don't think is that big of a deal. For me, it's not that big of a deal, except it's a great excuse to be dyeing some of my favorite colors, which is all shades of pink. So my idea was to not to interfere with the sock sets. I wanted to do like a 3-skein Valentine fade. That sounds like fun, especially because I have like the yellow lichen on rocks is a fade set. So I thought it would be fun to do like some 3-skein fade sets inspired by Valentine. So yes, it will be in the rose pink colorways. It will not be cold, screaming, bright, shouty pink, because that's not my thing. But I don't know. I'll just play with colors. I will dye these colors, and they will be available. I think I'll do like a pre-order and then dye a little bit more, so you don't have to panic if you don't order on the day of the release. As you can hear, I haven't decided completely on how to make this happen, but I am going to be opening for a pre-order of the 3-skein fade sets. I'm thinking to do this maybe in a glitter base, like the single glitter, maybe just the single base without the glitter, maybe the gold glitter. Actually, let me know if you are interested in the Valentine fade set, what kind of base you prefer. That's easier, I think. And then with your feedback, I can kind of see how many of each base it would be best to do. All right, I'm very excited about that whole Valentine thing. I thought about it last night when I couldn't sleep, and I also thought, apart from the 3 skein fade sets, it would be fun to do like 5 skein, 5 mini skein sets in Valentine inspired colors. So I could just go all pink in the dye studio for a day or a week. That will be fun. That will happen soon because Valentine is just around the corner, and I like to have these things dyed in advance so that when I ship overseas, it sometimes take, well, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks to get, sometimes faster, but you never know with customs in the States. Sometimes they just really want to look at the package for a long time before they deliver. Yeah, but I'm pretty excited about it. And also another thing I just want to mention is a new thing that I just put in my shop is like a mini skein bouquet. Right now there's only 1 bouquet in the shop, but you probably know that I dye a lot of minis, and sometimes I'll have just one of a color left, and when I have like a group like 10 mini skeins that are the last of its kind, I will make those into a bouquet and you can get a really good deal on those and save a lot of money. So if you're, knitting, working on a scrappy something, a blanket or something, this would be the best way to get a lot of mini skeins for a really good price. Of course, I don't have that many, but every now and then they will be available. They are in the shop just under mini skeins. At the bottom it says blomsterbuket, which is the Danish word for a bouquet of flowers. That's a lot of talk. I've been talking for 44 minutes now. 45 just. So that's a lot of talking. I think I remembered to talk about everything. If not, if you think I'm missing something, let me know and I can talk about that in the next episode, which will be on January 27th. And then on February 10th, we will be going skiing, so I'm not sure if I will have a podcast out on that day. I will let you know, but I will be doing a vlog from when we go to Austria. We're going on a ski trip and the whole family is going to go skiing, and I have finally found the nerve to say, not me. They really want me up on that mountain as well. We're going with some friends, so there'll be plenty of people on the mountain. I forgot the word. So I don't have to join them on ski. I've been skiing for many years and my knees don't like it anymore, and I feel like my nerves is just kind of I get a little scared. I don't want to fall. I hate when they do the very steep ones and I worry, and I'm really not that much of an anxious person, but I just don't like it. So I said, you guys go skiing and I will stay home and knit and do some designing and have a whole week just with my yarn and my computer and work on new designs and not dyeing yarn for a week. That's also a good challenge for me, to actually just not dye yarn all the time. So that's what's happening in the future. But we will see each other in 2 weeks from now for another episode. That will be episode number 60. I was actually just saying to Lars today, so this is the first episode in the new year, and it's like the numbers just keep going. I feel like it would be nice to do like a new season, and that would be episode number 1 of the new season. So instead of calling this episode 59, this would be episode 1 of season, I don't know, 3? I actually forgot for how long I have been podcasting. I think since, I don't know, I don't remember. I'll have to check that. But do you have any thoughts on that? It's just, I think the numbers is so what when I get to episode 500 and something. It's just, yeah. I'm thinking about calling this season 3 episode 1. But for now it's episode 59 and we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm bambling. I'm talking too much. I will stop myself. I need to get ready for a very boring meeting with like encounter. What is that called? An encounter? No, not encounter. An accountant. I have a meeting with an accountant. That's very hard to say. I have been doing all my bookkeeping and all my finances, all that, tax, all that myself. But it's just kind of that feeling when it's kind of building up. And I try to read up on all the rules and there's just a lot, let me just say like this. So I need help. So I have a meeting with someone today who hopefully can help me out. And if you have a good if you live in the area where I live and you know of a really good accountant that would be good for a small business like mine, please do not hesitate to send me an email and let me know who to contact, because I'm desperately looking for a very nice accountant. It has to be a very nice person that doesn't say, ooh, you're you don't have everything under control. It's always my worst fear that I mess up with something. I will wrap this up for now. And I just want to let you know it felt so good to be back and talking to you. I have missed you since Vlogmas ended. I must admit, I really needed some days not worrying about content and where to place the camera. And for the entire day of the 26th, after we got home from my parents' house, I didn't leave the couch for the entire day. I watched all the episodes of the new seasons of Emily in Paris, and I was just knitting and doing nothing, and it was gorgeous. But after a few days of relaxing, I just went back to the dye studio and I got all my energy back. And as you can see, I totally forgot to show you the office. I'm just gonna see if I can do this. So I got my cabinet from the summer house. Maybe if you watched my vlog from my summer house this summer, I painted this, and Lars and I got it home, and I have my new chair here that Lars got me for my birthday and for Christmas. And of course, you know Teddy, he's taking a nap. And yeah, so every morning I will have my coffee in this red chair. It's a new thing. And yeah, so it looks like this now. I actually did make a video on when we redecorated the room, but now everyone has seen the room, so I don't think it'll be interesting to see what happened at all. I will be wrapping this up now, so thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the channel, put on the bell so you don't miss any new episodes or anything. At least you get a notification. I'll see you back on the channel in 2 weeks, and I will soon be revealing the bird of February. Until then, stay tuned. I'll see you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.